Hello, I'm Dr. Scheidbach. I pastor Lighthouse Baptist Church in Santa Maria, California. I'm a brain masseur. Get ready for your brain massage. The Bible says in Proverbs 28, verse number 25, part A, he that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife. And we need to be careful we don't either be provoked to prideful response by things people say that offend us. And we need to be careful not to be arrogant in our assumptions about things, about problems that cause us to respond to issues with pride. Because the Bible says God resists the proud. He gives grace to the lowly. We need to humble our hearts under the mighty hand of God. Now more than ever in this nation, we need to humble our hearts. You know, CNN had a town hall meeting recently, and it turned into really what amounts to a "we hate Donald Trump" rally, sadly. Because it would be good to have a forum where we talked honestly and sincerely and humbly about this issue with school shootings. A young lady presented a speech in that town hall that I thought was probably as competent and as complete a layout of liberal arguments supporting gun control as a solution to school shootings as I've heard ever. So she did a good job that way, very competent. And so I took her speech and I critiqued it. Not to be critical of her necessarily, but of the thoughts expressed in that speech. And I took it apart and gave an answer to virtually every single part of the speech. And I'm going to do a little video response or a video follow-up on that in this series. And the first thing I want to talk about is her opening remarks. After a moment of silence on behalf of the grieving community there in Parkland, and really across the nation, she took a shot at the expression thoughts and prayers. She informed us that they, and by they I'm assuming she means herself, of course, and then her peers, her fellow students. Maybe she would include Parkland. Perhaps she feels she speaks for everybody. I'm not sure. But she said that they don't want any thoughts and prayers. They want action. Well, I agree in a great measure that action is what is needed. But it concerned me that this young lady would be so dismissive of a heartfelt and sincere gesture of concern and compassion extended to her and all of those grieving in Parkland in the expression thoughts and prayers. You know, don't you think it's going to take some thoughts? And wouldn't it be a good idea to add some prayers to that in order to get a proper response or to develop a proper response to this whole thing? So before we dismiss thoughts and prayers, maybe it's a good idea to respect and perhaps even express some appreciation for the well-meant sentiment behind that expression. Although I do understand many liberals simply don't get it. They don't know what we mean when we say things like thoughts and prayers, or when we say our hearts and prayers are with you. Now, I do address that more thoroughly in another video, but to sum it up here, essentially, when we say thoughts and prayers, or when we say our hearts and prayers are with you. Well, look, genuine, authentic Christians do not presume that they have thereby discharged all of their responsibility and any duty to act beyond that. I mean, give me a break. We've read James where we're told very clearly that, you know, if you say to somebody, I'm praying for you, but you don't minister to their physical needs, then that's just vanity. Well, we believe that. Every one of us believes that. When we say thoughts and prayers, my friends, at least those in my circle, what we're saying is we're actively thinking about you and your concerns and your hurt and what we can do to respond practically and in a helpful way to those hurts. And when we add prayers to that, what we're saying is that while we stand ready to respond to your physical needs with any physical and emotional support that we can minister, at the same time we are beseeching the master healer of broken hearts, God in heaven, to minister his grace to your hurting heart and to give you wisdom on how to process all this and how to get through this and land on the other side on your feet to go forward in your life. And so our thoughts and prayers are with you. That's what we mean. Besides, it's going to take some serious thought to arrive at a real solution here. And then it would be really helpful if we would follow the example of our forefathers who, when this nation got in trouble, consistently sought the Lord, consistently turned to prayer. I mean, in Congress assembled, when they came to an impasse, more than once, they would turn in their seats and kneel, or some would stand and bow their head to pray, and all would reverently seek the Lord and pray for a solution, and God undertook to help us, my friend. So, don't you think that thoughtless and prayerless action would just be a disaster? Now, by all means, I think we should appreciate those who extend thoughts and prayers. However, I do agree that sentimental responses are meaningless. The sentimental responses, the emotional knee-jerk responses that we've gotten from the left to this problem up to date have done nothing to solve this problem. So I agree with her on that point. My friend, we've just got started. In the next segment, I'm going to continue my critique of liberal arguments for gun control with a look at the CNN rally versus reality show that turned out to be just another We Hate Trump rally. And if I've lit the lamps in the church belfry arch for you, and you can see that they're on, then go to our website, brainmassage.net, and send me an email. Let me know what your thoughts are. And by the way, if we can be of help to anyone that's hurting in that disaster there that happened, or that travesty that happened there in Parkland, by all means, go to that website, send me an email, let me know how we can help. God bless you. God bless America. And I'll see you in church.